The Honda Civic needs no introduction, nor does the Civic Si. But for 2025, it actually has some new internal competition in the form of the all-new Civic Hybrid. Yes, the matchup is closer than you might think, and today I'm going to show you why you might want to pick one over the other and vice versa. The 2025 model year brings a host of updates to the entire Civic lineup except the Type R, no official word on its refresh just yet. Up front, all Civics have sharper lines and a nose that looks more aggressive than last year's cars. There are new wheel designs and new colors. Google built-in is now available in the 9-inch infotainment system on both the Si and the top Sport Touring trims. Finally, the 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder is no longer an option, as the Hybrid has taken its place as the higher output powertrain over the standard naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder on LX and Sport trims. Taking a closer look at the Si, it's still only available as a sedan, and you still must know how to row your own gears if you want in on the action. It still has a limited slip front differential and makes 200 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque, but has freshly retuned suspension dampers to match a newly increased body stiffness. The auto rev matching now works when shifting from second to first gear, and it can now be equipped with summer tires from the factory that don't affect EPA fuel economy ratings. Now on to the Civic Hybrid, which fills the space where the on-again, off-again Honda Insight used to be in the lineup. Considering the fact that the last generation of that car was simply a gussied-up hybridized Civic, it makes sense to me that they finally decided to just call it what it actually is. The best part is that this time around you can get this one in both hatchback or sedan form. This powertrain was basically plucked straight out of the Accord and CR-V hybrids, but with packaging that is slightly different to accommodate for the car's smaller size, which therefore leads to different power output figures. Plus, you can't get this one with all-wheel drive like you can in the CR-V. That's one area where the competitors from Toyota have a slight advantage. The Corolla, Prius, and Camry are all available with all-wheel drive as well. The way I look at the new Civic Hybrid is honestly like the automatic Si that Honda refuses to build. Why? Well, because we have the same amount of horsepower, 200, but we also have more torque, 232 pound-feet. But to counter that, of course, because of the hybrid components, this does weigh about 300 pounds more than the Si, and of course, you cannot get a manual transmission. So the buyers of the two cars, though different, might find that the dynamics are actually similar. Honda also specifically tuned the dampers and the springs on this model to make it feel a bit more dynamic than the regular gas-only Civic. And we also have hybrid-specific tires. They're not, of course, going to be as grippy as the summer tires that are available on the Si, but they do a good job at keeping you gripped to the road. And they also help with efficiency. For those of you who like the idea of the Si and want an automatic transmission, and also something a little bit quieter, this is definitely going to be a good option because this is the quietest Civic on record. They actually did make a lot of measures to lower the NVH in here, and of course when you are cruising at lower speeds and you are in electricity only, the engine shuts off, so it's automatically going to be a quieter experience. It even has active noise control and resonators within those tires I mentioned earlier to help bring the overall cabin volume down, and this really does feel like a pretty premium cabin experience, definitely elevated over the price point this is at. Now this CVT is actually a pretty solid one. It has a linear shift control system that helps sort of mimic actual shifting when you are under hard acceleration. So if I put it in the sport drive mode, you will feel a more traditional shifting experience, but then put it back into normal or econ mode and it goes back to being what a traditional CVT is, helping you get the most fuel economy. And that's where this car absolutely is a beast. You're gonna get over 50 miles per gallon combined in this thing, which is absolutely insane. And that's not something you're going to find in the Si. The Si is still pretty efficient with 37 miles per gallon on the highway, but this is just way beyond that. And for the price of the cars being so similar, you are going to save a lot more money in this in the long run. I personally was not able to drive the Civic Hybrid sedan. This is actually the hatchback right now, but they should drive pretty similarly, and the weight is not too different between the two. So if you want the hatchback body style, but you like the price of the sedan, you do have the option of both in this model, whereas in the Si, you can only get that one as a sedan. So which of these two do I think is the better car? Well, it's hard to deny the engagement and fun that the manual transmission of the Si gives you, But honestly, truthfully, this is the more well-rounded package right here. The hybrid gives you just as much power, and it actually feels quicker, again, thanks to the extra electric boost, and it has a little bit lower of a center of gravity. If rowing your own gears is a skill you possess, then the Civic Si will not disappoint you. Plus, it's still very good on fuel economy. 37 miles per gallon on the highway with or without those summer tires is still quite impressive. But like I said in the drive portion, the hybrid here really is the automatic transmission SI Honda won't build. So if you're looking for a dynamic commuter car that is really excellent when it comes to fuel economy and still fun to drive, well, this one's a no-brainer.